everybody, it's Lavender Town. And today I wanted to do a quick do this, not that on how to draw characters kissing. And not only because it was recently Valentine's Day, but also because this is one of the most deceptively difficult things to draw out of anything that I've ever learned. There's something about it that's so easy to ruin, so easy to make look awkward. So I wanted to share with you guys how I used to draw kisses really badly and how I do it now. So starting with the don'ts, you can see right away that this one looks awkward. This is really how I used to draw characters kissing. So basically one person would get the top lip and then the other one would have their bottom lip showing. And while I understand like sort of on a theoretical level what I was going for, it just doesn't look right. It kind of looks like he's eating her face and it's not really, it just doesn't look good. It definitely doesn't look romantic. It looks extra awkward and yeah, this was primarily because at the time I really didn't have a good ability to turn the head in subtle ways. I could pretty much just do the straightforward looking character, a 3/4 view character, and then total profile. So basically I would just smash two profile view characters together and hope that it looked like they were kissing. But the primary problem that I'm having here is that while it does kind of look like their faces are touching, it also kind of looks like they're both, I mean, they'd both have to be like paper flat because they're meeting each other at the exact same angle. Nobody's tilting their head at all to allow for like noses and stuff. So it's looking really strange, and also the whole configuration of the lips just looks bizarre. Another oversight that I majorly had back in the day when I was drawing kisses was that I didn't really pay attention to their pose underneath their face. I was so fixated on trying to get the kiss to look right, and I thought that the people who looked at my art would feel the same way, that I kind of just let them stand in a standard awkward position, and I really thought that that wasn't a problem. But the truth is, when you're drawing a kiss scene, you pretty much need your characters to be posing below the neck as well, so holding hands or holding each other or something, because otherwise it kind of looks like they're being forced to kiss for a play or something. It just makes it look weirdly staged. That can really work if they're sort of awkward young characters having their first kiss. That could be sort of convincing, but outside of that context, I don't really know why you wouldn't have them interacting in any other way other than just smooching on the lips real quick. Now, before I start talking about the do side of the equation, I do want to mention that even though my series is called Do This, Not That, and that sounds a little authoritarian, I just intend this sort of to be a tutorial series with advice for people. So if any of my advice does not come across in a way that you think would be helpful for your art, please feel free to ignore it. But yeah, anyway, with that out of the way, when I draw a kiss like this, where you're actually seeing the lip-to-lip contact and it's sort of like a straight up profile view of the characters, what I typically want to do is give a sort of light kiss, not anything too crazy, because usually I find that if you have characters who are kissing more intensely, usually they'll be like holding each other really close, and usually someone's arm will be up in the way of their face or something. So when you're drawing a kiss like this, it's usually best for it to be this sort of like light, super romantic sort of K or J drama sort of kiss. It's just the best way to make it look not awkward, and I think that it also is probably the easiest to draw when you're looking this directly at the profile of their face. So I talked a lot about the tilts in the first part of the video, and this is what I mean. Basically, the female character here has tilted her face a little bit more towards the viewer, and the guy has tilted his face a little bit away from it. That just allows for nose room, basically. So unless your characters are both Voldemort, it's usually best to leave room for the nose. It makes them look more three-dimensional, and it makes the kiss look more real. Also in this one, I'm not overlapping the lips like there's some sort of paper craft that's slot together, but more just sort of having them press into each other, and that's another thing that I used to mess up all the time when I was younger. I thought that the lips sort of had to interlock in some way, but actually what they're doing is pressing up into each other, which is not really the same thing. It actually changes the shape of the lip, especially if they're kissing more deeply than this. It's going to change the way that the profile is drawn and flatten that area of the face a little bit more, because obviously your skin is not rock hard and it's not malleable, so it's going to be affected by the pressure put on it. That's something I definitely did not understand when I was younger. I was just like, how do kisses work? I don't know. And every time I looked up references from like a movie or something, it was never like close enough for me to understand. Like I couldn't, when something's super realistic and is like actual footage of actual people, it's really hard to understand how to draw that, especially when you're a little kid and you're just like used to drawing anime and stuff. It didn't really seem helpful at all. If you're having trouble figuring out how to show that the characters' faces are tilted different directions, just remember that one character is going to have more of their eyelashes on the other side showing, and one character is going to have more of the underside of their jaw showing. That's a quick and easy way to make it clear that they're sort of tilting away from each other. Honestly though, if this seems really hard, don't despair, because this is not the only way to draw a convincing and good kiss, and honestly in my opinion it's actually one of the worst ways to draw it, just from a camera angle perspective, because I feel like doing this shot right from the side, just trying to show the maximum amount of actual kiss, is not always the best way to get across the feelings of your characters. So now I'm going to do a couple quick doodles to show you guys the kind of camera angles and poses that I actually prefer when I'm showing characters kissing, because like I said, I don't really like this profile shot all that much. One of the things I focus on the most when I'm drawing characters kissing is not actually their interlocking lips or their interlocking noses, but it's actually the placement of their hands on each other and the way that they tilt away or from each other. All of that can really change the sort of emotion that the kiss gives off and can really change the story that it's telling. A hand on the other character's face is not only a great way to sort of cover up that weird interlocking lip problem, but also it's a really great way to show a real sense of affection and tenderness towards the other character. Also, you should remember that every character is going to come to it with a different sort of perspective and different feelings. Now, obviously, if the characters have been together for a long time and they're really used to kissing, they're probably going to have the same sort of pull to the kiss as one another. But if it's like a first kiss or if it's an awkward kiss, maybe one character is really initiating a lot more than the other, and that's going to change the way that they lean towards or away from each other. It's going to change a lot of things. Also, you gotta consider that not every kiss is gonna be a great one. Maybe one of the characters really wants to do a sloppy French kiss and the other one is super grossed out. There's a lot of ways that kisses can show the ways that characters feel towards each other and really change sort of their relationship. So try to remember it's not only for really great romantic scenes, but it can also be for really awkward, funny scenes as well. Though I guess it's not really that funny if someone's being attacked with a sloppy kiss. That's just kind of gross, I guess. Another thing to think about is height differences. So characters with dramatically different heights are going to kiss a lot differently than characters who are on the same standing. Now, sometimes taller characters can bend down to kiss their shorter kissing partner, I guess. Or sometimes the other character will tilt their head way up. It'll change the way that they sort of hold on to each other. All of these things really affect the smooch. So just to consider all of that when you're trying to draw a proper kiss. Another good thing to remember when you're drawing for narrative reasons is it's also very cute and can communicate very different things when characters kiss each other in other places just than the standard lip kiss. So obviously a forehead kiss has a lot more of a pure sort of feeling. A kiss on the cheek, also very wholesome. A kiss on the hand can be either really hilariously weird or very sweet. There's a lot of different ways that you can sort of communicate in your stories with smooching alone. So yeah, I guess what I've come to realize at the end of this video is that kisses are a language of their own. So learning to draw them, I guess, should be pretty important to artists who draw a lot of characters who are in relationships. I hope this was helpful to you guys, or at least entertaining, and I hope you had a good Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for 700,000 subscribers. Let me know if you have any video ideas or requests down in the comments, because that's always where I look when I can't think of anything. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you to all of my patrons, including Bella Story, Kalpampong, Clockwork Construct, Dionysus Hagarilis, Dr. Casket, Elizabeth Album, Hope Chilsum, Imagine Creations, JJJ, Joseph Kopel, Carla Tapia, Cat Did That, Cured, Making Claire, Midnight Doodles, Micah Dactyl, Nora Cornelison, Okamore, Ollie, Rose Espinoza, Rosie Warlock, Sergeant Pendulum, The Artsy Moose, Your Boy ST, and Zoe Stardust.